irresistibly attracted to what is taboo? Do you have desires that you cannot control? This is what Pluto's position indicates when it is in the 8th house. Where Pluto is located, we will experience a process of transformation as involuntarily as the one that occurs to the caterpillar during its transmutation into a butterfly. Pluto's position in the birth chart indicates the personal evolutionary path that we all go through. Although many times we are not aware of it, this process has been activated since the first day of our birth. Many times, the energy of Pluto can be found in the control we exercise over certain aspects of our behavior. It is not that Pluto means control, rather it is our fear of allowing Plutonian energy to flow that triggers the desire to control it. Pluto simply awakens ancestral and even soul memories from remote pasts that are stored in our physical and cosmic DNA. These memories condition the present life and need to be released in order to recover other hidden treasures that we have inherited from our ancestors. In order to flow together with Pluto, we need to dare to feel the impulses of the unconscious and give them consciousness. This is not easy because it is not something that we are taught in school. In fact, many of the drives that come from our instinctive self become compulsions because for cultural and other reasons, we try to keep them hidden, even from ourselves. The secret with Pluto is not to act on what awakens, but to feel it, to observe it. Pluto brings to the surface energies that have been stored for generations and are now ready to be transformed. However, they remain unknown to us, and in many cases they terrify us. Therefore, in general, we repress them for a long time until they break through, generating some kind of crisis. Pluto is a very slow planet. It takes 248 years to go around the zodiac and stays in each sign between 12 and 31 years. Although the transformation process is individual, the way we go through it is shared by a large number of people. Basically, we are not alone when facing the force of the unconscious. The individuals of the same Plutonian generation develop something in common, which allows the evolutionary process to be lived together, while each one has the experience from their own unique perspective. The astrological house where Pluto is located shows us the particular area of existence where we experience transformation. The sign shows us how we approach it. The difference between the natal position and the transit of Pluto is that the natal position indicates the area of life where our evolution will focus, while the transit activates temporary processes that assist our evolutionary path. Devil inside, every single one of us, the devil inside. The mysterious 8th house is from the kingdom of Pluto. The 8th house, like Scorpio, symbolizes the transformation of the self due to the fusion with the outside world. The 8th house is the house of water, just like the 4th and the 12th house. The water houses are not expressed externally, but rather are lived internally. While the 4th house describes our internal world, the 8th house shows us how the external world transforms us when we interact with it. When Pluto is in the 8th house, our evolutionary path leads us to transform the way external energies affect us. Where we are going to notice it the most is within intimate relationships, which activate behaviors that we may not be aware of. The typical Plutonian compulsion can feel like a desperate urge that takes over our body and that we cannot resist. How we deal with it is strongly tied to our ability to allow the world to transform us. We feel strongly attracted to everything that is taboo and forbidden. We are obsessed with death, decomposition, and secrets. Perhaps the most important thing for this position is to be aware that these energies that are awakened in such a sweeping way don't come from the outside, but are within us. We may feel madly attracted to someone who is not necessarily what is best for us, and yet we cannot resist the desire. However, this attraction may actually be the catalyst for a strongly repressed internal energy that we cannot access alone. As I have mentioned earlier, the 8th house and Scorpio belong to the realm of water, a naturally receptive energy. If instead of acting from desire, we let the energy run through us internally, we can release a flow of ancestral memories and even of the soul that seek to transform. Although it sounds easy to say, this process can create unbearable stress for those with this position of Pluto, as we can feel possessed by something completely unknown. However, what comes up is truly part of our own subconscious, seeking to come out into the open. If we allow the metamorphosis to happen in a receptive way, without repressing it, without wanting to control it, and without fearing the amoral and crude being that comes out of our own subconscious, and we look at it face to face, we will see that what we believe to be our inner beast is actually the king of the underworld, wanting to show us inner riches that we would never have suspected to have.